Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and today is Monday, October 14th, and I decided to go ahead and film a mid-month wrap-up. I know technically the middle of the month is like tomorrow, or the end of tomorrow, or something like that, or the middle of the day tomorrow, or the middle of the day the next day. I don't know. It's coming up. But today I'm starting a whole new set of books, so I thought I would just go ahead and tell you what I have read so far this month. I finished 8 books so far. I did mention 2 of them in my last Friday Reads. I didn't get a Friday Reads done this past Friday. I just didn't get it done. And then Saturday we were gone all day to a marching band competition. And yesterday I spent the day just trying to finish what I wanted to finish, which I didn't. But this morning I got up and I finished 1 print book. So I'm just going to go with it. I am going to start some of the books today that will meet the Spookathon challenges. Spookathon is hosted by Lala from Books and Lala. And so those are the books that I'm going to focus on this week and continue to try to chink away at the print books that I already have started. And I have several audiobooks that are going to be expiring from Hoopla at the end of the week or middle of the week. So I have to finish those as quickly as I can. And I've got some book club books that need to get read. So I have a lot going on reading-wise. So let's get started. I'll tell you what I have finished. I also want to show you my visual that I am now calling Stackmas and show you where I am with that. And if you missed that video, if you want to go back, I will put a link below. The video that's called Stacking the Series Challenge for October through December. Now, Sarah from Steeped in Books is hosting a Stack the Series Challenge for all of her subscribers and people on her Goodreads group. And I was already doing kind of my own version of that because she had mentioned it the year before. So I decided to take a slice out of what I was already doing and focus on some stacks to do and to read between October 1st to December 31st. So when I put it all onto a visual, it came out like a Christmas tree. And so some of you guys started calling it Stackmas. And I will show you my poster or my foam board in a few minutes. So let's go through quickly what I have finished already this month. The first 2 books that I finished, I mentioned in the last Friday Reads, so I won't go over those. But then the rest of the books that I have finished are all audiobooks except for 1. 2 of them are Sunshine State books. I'll be talking more about these when I do a wrap-up, but both of these were excellent. I gave them 5 stars each. And this one is 24 Hours in Nowhere by Dusti Bowling. And this one is Greetings from the Witness Protection Agency, Greetings from Witness Protection. There you go. And this one is by Jake Burt. Both of these I thought were fantastic both for completely different reasons, but they had great themes and they were just really, really good. Then a couple of audiobooks I listened to on Scribd. And by the way, I looked up a video of the founder and CEO of Scribd, and he pronounces it Scribd. I was wondering, because I've heard it pronounced several different ways. And so if you were wondering, I will link that video down below so you can hear for yourself that it is called Scribd. So I put 3 books on my saved list. I listened to 2 of them, and then just like other people have said, the 3rd one went to not available till October 31st. So anyway, good thing that 3rd one was not one that I had to get done before my trial period is over. I still have access to a lot of other books, but for some reason that one is one that I can't access till then. So anyway, it's okay. So I listened to The Giving Quilt by Jennifer Chiaverini. This one had some bad reviews. It had some good reviews. And of course, the ones that always get the most comments and likes are the ones up at the top, and those were mostly negative, so I was a little worried going in, but I didn't agree necessarily with all the negative comments. I could see what they were talking about, but it didn't really bother me that much. This is not the best of the Elm Creek Quilts novels, but there is one more that is just came out called The Christmas Boutique, and I wanted to get this one read before reading the Christmas one, so I got it done. And then I also read or listened to the last and 6th book in the Butternut Lake series. Now, I don't know if there's going to be any more of these, but for now, this is the last one. This was a lot different than the rest of the Butternut Lake series. Most all of those take place in the summer, except for the novella takes place at Christmas time. This takes place around late March, and it's a little bit more of a mystery, so it's different than the others, and you don't have to have read the others to read this one. There's not a lot of crossover of characters. It didn't even really feel like Butternut Lake, but there were a couple of things mentioned that were Butternut Lake, but still, I mean, people and characters and things that I recognized from other books, but you definitely could just pick this one up and read it as a standalone, as far as I'm concerned. It is called The Secrets We Carried. And then, let's see. I also listened to the next one in the Haunted Yarn Shop Mystery Series by Molly MacRae. This is called Spinning in Her Grave. And I have to admit, I did pay attention to the murder and who did it and all of that, but I was mostly paying attention to Geneva, the ghost, and her dialogue and her storyline. She's so funny, just so funny. I love this series just because of Geneva. She's hilarious. She's so testy and emotional. And so I also have the rest of that series checked out on Hoopla right now, with the next one started. I am in the middle of Plagued by Quilt. I will finish this today and hopefully get a good start on the next one, Not the Usual Suspects. And then by tomorrow, hope to finish the last one, Cruel and Unusual. And the reason for that rush is because these are going to be expiring off my Hoopla by Wednesday or Thursday, I think. And then on Friday, I have one more that's expiring, and it's a chunker. So I need as much time as possible to listen to it. And I don't know why I checked it out at the end of the month along with all those others. I should have done a shorter book at the end of the month and saved this one, because it's Ship of Magic and it's a 35-hour audiobook. So even sped up times 2, that's still a pretty long book, and I'm only going to have like 3 days to finish it. So I'm going to really be concentrating on getting that one done, and I might end up having to renew it. If I do, it won't be the end of the world, but I would like to get it done and not have to waste a borrow. Okay, so then I have one print book that I just finally finished this morning. I've been working on 4 different books, but this one I finished today, and I love it so much. Okay, this is Village Diary by Miss Reed. It's book 2 in the Fairacre series. Now, I will say, I read, my first 2 Miss Reed books were the first 2 Thresh Green books. I enjoyed those, but they were a little hard to get into. These 2, the Fairacre series, I love. Not just enjoy, I love them so much. Oh, you know, I think I've mentioned before that Jan Karen, well, she has a blurb on all of these newer editions of these, and I think I read somewhere that she was inspired by Miss Reed for her own books, the Mitford books, and I love these. The Mitford series is my entire all-time favorite series, and I was beginning to wonder if I would ever find anything that would live up to the Mitford series, and I think I have found it with the Fairacre series by Miss Reed. It's just charming, beautiful, delightful. I love it so much. The characters are great. Just love it. So I'm looking forward to continuing on with that series. And I think that's everything that I have finished. Okay, so I have right now, I believe, 6 current reads. I already mentioned the Haunted Yarn Shop. And then the other print books I'm currently reading. This one I'm a little over half done. I'm trying to get this read so that I can send this to my sister's grandson, Tate. It's The Rise of a Legend. It's book 16 in the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. I sent him the first 15 books. I thought this was just a companion book, but it is labeled now as book 16. I hope he's been enjoying the ones that I sent him already. I love the series. I just think it's great. It's all about owls, if you can't tell from the cover. And this one kind of goes back, and it is about the life of the very oldest owl that is a part of the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, and this is his life story as a young cadet. So it's really good so far. And I've been reading this to Emily. We have been making very slow progress. We're on chapter 11 now out of, I think, like 43 chapters. But anyway, hopefully she's enjoying it. There's a character named Emily in here, and I'm enjoying it, and I like having this as a reason to talk to her and to just have something to read to her. And I hope that she will get some benefit from it. It's called Circle of Grace by Leslie Gould. It's book 3 in the Home to Heather Creek series that's published by Guidepost. Then I have not made any progress this week on Home Song by Thomas Kincade, but I will pick this back up for sure when I get done with the other, when I get done with the Guardians of Ga'Hoole, or after the Spookathon's over. Then I will really go at this full swing. And the other two, I'm just going to keep chinking away at this. The chapters are really short in this, so as often as I feel like reading, and as long as Emily is up to it, then I'll keep reading this to her. And then I hope to go ahead and power on through this one pretty soon as well, because I want to show you what all books that I'm going to be reading for this week. But meanwhile, I've got 2 other audiobooks started. This one I've been listening to in my car, War Storm by Victoria Aveyard. It's book 4 in the Red Queen series. I'm not crazy about this so far. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just kind of boring, really. And it's so big. And I can't speed through it. I think some of these books are on Hoopla, but they're not on my Hoopla. So I don't have the option to speed this up. This is the only place I can find this on audio, is my library on CD. So anyway, it's okay. I'm listening to it in the car. And then I was supposed to have this done already for my mystery book club, which was last Thursday, and I did not get it finished. I am only almost halfway done, and this, I realized, is the abridged version. And so I went ahead the day of book club. I saw that there was a full version on audio CD. I checked it out from the library, but I thought, you know what? I don't think I care enough about it to read the full version. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this abridged version, which is 6 CDs, because that's all I've got time for. I have so many other things that I'd rather read, but I want to be able to go ahead and get this finished before our regular book club meets, because several people weren't there, and I have a feeling that there'll be some chatter about this one this week as well. So for this week's book club, I need to have read... change my stacks around here. I need to read Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. I am going to be listening to this on Audible. I did use one of my Audible credits and purchased this. So then, also for both of the readathons that I'm doing this month, I am reading Queen of the Night by J.A. Jance. This is book 4 in the Brandon Walker series. So I have that on CD as well, and as soon as I finish this one, I'm listening to this in the house, and it's half done. So then I will go to this one, and I'll probably just keep War Storm in the car. And then in print, I have 2 books for that Meet Spookathon challenges. And so these are the 2 that I'm going to be reading this week. I am going to attempt to read both of them simultaneously. It works out to be about 4 chapters of each one a day. And so I haven't even read any of them today, and it's Monday, so I need to get on that. Anyway, the first one is Pigtopia by Kitty Fitzgerald. This, as I understand, is a Frankenstein retelling. And then this one is called Ember Flame by Casey Browning. This was written by the niece of a really good friend of mine, and so I've been wanting to read it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, as long ago as she told me about it. And so I have it now, and I want to read it. Then I'm probably not going to read this right now, but I do have this checked out from the library. I just want to show it to you. This was written by an old college friend of mine named Gordon Grice. He has several animal-themed books, and they're very unique animal books. And this is, I believe, his latest book. It's called Cabinet of Curiosities, Collecting and Understanding the Wonders of the Natural World. And it's a beautiful book. It's almost kind of a coffee table book, but it's got a lot of information packed in here and a lot of ideas if you wanted to collect little things and make a cabinet of them. So anyway, it's very interesting, and I saw that our library had it, and so I wanted to go ahead and check it out. At some point I will hopefully just sit down and read it. Okay, that is everything that I have finished reading this month, and that I am currently reading, and that I am about to start. So let me show you my visual and a little bit about kind of how I am setting it up here. So I have The very top one is the novella that I read early in the month. And then here, the next tier is The Secrets We Carried, the last in the Butternut Lake books. Then what I have done is made a little thumbnail picture of all the books that I have finished. Then I also have a color square of all the books that I have started. So if you don't see a picture on it, that just means I have started that book. And if the picture is there, then that means I have finished it. So here I have finished The Giving Quilt, and then we have The Haunted Yarn Shop, and I've started the second one, and then Miss Reed. Now down here, I mentioned before that I was going to use my nonfiction books that I read in November and make those the gifts under the tree. And then for my middle grade books, I would illustrate those with toys. So I put this little wagon sticker here. These are the 2 middle grade books that I have finished, and then I have put this little ball here with a little bit of wax paper so I can pull it back. When I finish the Guardians of Ga'Hoole book, which is middle grade, I will put a little thumbnail of that there. And then for any other books that that don't fit up here, like for instance at the beginning of the month I listened to the Brunch at the Bittersweet Cafe. Well, it's food centric, so I have this sticker with cookies, and I stuck that back there. And probably also any of my other book club books and things like that that don't fit here, I will incorporate into this little, what do you call it? This little set of stickers. I put 2 things here to represent the books that I am currently reading. I mentioned the Guardians of Ga'Hoole. The ball represents that. And the pine cone represents Angels and Demons because it's prickly. And that's a kind of a prickly book. So anyway, this is how it's looking so far. And then a little interesting thing. To get these little thumbnails, I had to... Well, I didn't know any other way to do it. I pulled the pictures off of Goodreads, the images off Goodreads, and I got them as small as I could onto the printer, but they were still too big to fit in these squares. So then I had to take what I printed from online, and I had to tape those to a paper and then reduce that down to 25%. So then I have these larger pieces of, they're pictures that are thumbnails, or pictures of the covers of the books that I've read, and I didn't want to just throw them away. It's kind of a waste of ink. So I decided to just start putting them here. So here we have them. Now, this is not going to be big enough, I don't think, to fit all the books that I'm going to read between October through December. So maybe I'll just put everything for this month, and maybe if I can fit November, and then I'll have to put something different for December. I don't know. Or maybe I will put the December ones up here since they'll be more Christmassy, maybe. I don't know. That might work. Anyway, I'll just decide as I go. But there's my Stackmas and how it's stacking up so far. The thing that I kind of hate that is sort of the nature of it all, though, and there's not really anything I can do to change it, is that it's all going to go from left to right, and unless I finish everything, I'm not going to have a completed Christmas tree. So that's, I guess, will just have to be my motivation for getting all these books read. Anyway, that's all for that, and I will keep updating that as I go along. So that's all I have for this video. I have got to go get Emily dressed and loaded into the car because we have to take Katie to a night class, and so then we're just gonna hang out in the car, and I'm gonna read and wait for her and then come back home. I can't get Emily in the car by myself, but Katie can. She has been doing, for 2 years now, she's been twirling rifles and flags and all that. She's got a lot more upper body strength than I do. So thankfully she is able to do that better than I can. If you, a lot of you guys have said, you're praying for us, and our main prayer request right now is just to get Emily on her feet. She is still in bed, and physical therapy finally started coming, but we're still having trouble getting enough visits approved through insurance for them to continue to come. And she is just not personally self-motivated to sit up and get up. And it's very frustrating just to try to get her to eat enough to sustain her. And we're just a little bit overwhelmed right now. But we have a lot of faith that God knows exactly what he's doing, and we will get through this. So we appreciate all your prayers, and I appreciate all the comments that you guys share and let's chat about the books or whatever you wanted to talk about. And that's all I have for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.